Hi everyone, good to see you again. This week's devotional is going to be on the topic of willingness to yield, which is one of the fruit of the Spirit that we're talking about this week, where it's about learning to yield to the Lord and God's Word. It's about having a heart that is trusting more than our own thoughts or our emotions, the things that we want. It's about learning to trust God's Word that forms how we think, forms how we feel, so that we can learn to trust God's Word more, trust what each other says more, because we're willing to yield. And a lot of times, this willingness to yield is something that is not easy for us, because many times we have grown up feeling or being taught that the way that we make it in this world is by being strong, or don't yield, but instead you fight for the things that you want. At times when we hear things from God's Word or from others, our tendency is to be suspicious, or to always feel like there's an underlying message that they have. But when we learn to live in this willingness to yield, is that we trust God at God's Word at face value, and also we trust one another at face value. And this is how we can grow in learning to have that way of being, where we welcome God's Word in our lives, we welcome God's favor. Whenever God's Word says something, we're quickly to say yes, and we turn. And also in one another's life is that we are able to trust each other, because we believe that God is working in each other's lives. We believe that God is doing wonderful things in one another's lives. So we trust in what happens to you, what happens to me. We trust the things that we say. And even in experiences of forgiveness, we're able to forgive and trust again, is because we're willing to yield to that truth. So for this week, as you go through the transmission, as we go through God's Word, we encourage you to really believe. We encourage you to change, encourage you to really embrace the things that God is doing in your lives. So have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again next week. Please remember to put in comments so that we can talk to each other over the email. And as you probably have noticed, 1 month of your summer vacation has gone. You have 2 left, but we look forward to seeing you soon.